It's always interesting to see what people do when they show up down here at the boat ramp. Sometimes they'll go wait on the dock for their crew to arrive. Other times they'll do like that young lady did and stand there for about 5 minutes blocking a ramp. Now, fortunately today, as you can tell, it's not that busy at the moment, but here she goes down the dock as her crew approaches. But welcome back, guys, to the greatest show on earth, and that is the Miami Boat Ramps channel. I'm your host, Broncos Guru, and today we are down here visiting 79th Street. And let's see how Cap does on approach to pick his friend up. And this one's kind of interesting. This is something they've started to lax on a little bit, it feels like, down here at 79th Street. For many years that we've been down here, literally security would come over and run these people off. If they saw somebody walking down and parking their car here at 79th and having a boat pick them up and just take off, but the boat wasn't docked here, they would stop this. They would literally shut it down and send those people and tell them they had to go park somewhere else, typically probably across the street at the marina where you could get picked up over there. But here recently I've caught a lot more of this where people have been able to park down here, go ahead and jump on a boat that's not necessarily leaving from this facility and go ahead and go, and then the boat will just bring them back later and drop them off. But it looks like Cap's going to struggle as he's trying to back out here. He's kind of got the boat in a bad spot, and it's just going to back itself into the dock at this point. Goes to push it off before the motor winds up hitting, and man, it kind of kicks around on him a little bit. Back to the helm. And he's going to go ahead and try and spin it around and get it out of here. But there was definitely a struggle there for a few moments as Cap and crew were trying to get out of here at 79th. And the boat, well, it just didn't want to go. It wanted to stay on the dock. And here we go. Things are getting heated. Oh, man. Something is going on back over here. We can't quite see it yet, but I have heard screaming and yelling. There is definitely a scuffle of some sort going on. And it appears this crew is actually trying to get this guy back to his vehicle. And I don't believe he has issues with anybody you see in the screen here. I believe the issues are stemming from somebody else that was down here at the ramp. I saw these guys kind of getting into it with another group a little earlier, and it looks like somebody might have had enough and was getting out of their vehicle and trying to get something started. And they're trying to defuse the situation, it looks like. And here we go. Our shot block's going to get pulled out of the way now. It appears they got the guy back in the truck. And the crew's probably going to get out of here. I don't know. They're still arguing over here. And there we go. Somebody's going to leave now. But for a minute there, I thought we were going to see some stuff go down. But now, here we go. We'll go back to the regularly scheduled action down here at the boat ramp as we're going to have, well, I guess our second boat of the day coming in here to try and dock. So they're making their approach. Cap's keeping it slow and simple, and he needs to be careful, especially with somebody on the swim deck on the stern of the boat. Unfortunately, with this vessel, I'm really familiar with these, and that cleat's just in the worst spot ever. And it really is the only way to get a line on it is to get somebody out of the cockpit of the boat and back there onto the swim deck. Oh, Cap's going to go. It's going to swing around on him. Our guy in the bow catches it just before they hit, but now he's backing off, so he's going to have to get off quickly. He does, grabs the line, and again, he's going to have to push it off the dock one more time before it hits. Or we're just going to let it smack, maybe. So they start to work it around. Our guy in the stern standing there with the line. Cap's left the helm as usual, which isn't too uncommon. This type of vessel, they don't have a true neutral, the jet boats. Sometimes if you've got those buckets set up just perfectly, it'll work right, but most of the time it doesn't. And your best bet is that when you get close enough to where you're on the dock, you just kill the motors, which actually I wish most people in a lot of boats would do. If I've got somebody with a line on the dock and things are going right, kill the motors, and let's just finish this with no power. And here comes our next crew in on approach. So Cap's taking it easy as he's making his move toward the dock. And this is a pretty good sized boat. So coming in, slow roll approach. Nothing wrong with that. Again, never approach anything any faster than you're willing to hit it down here at the ramp. But this should be, I mean, it's not a very crazy day down here. The ramps aren't busy. There's not a ton of current or wind. With a twin-engine vessel, this should be an easy approach and dock. So still slightly moving in toward the dock. And his buddy's going to try and get up there in the bow, I guess, and get off on this one. So Cap's going to have to get him a little bit closer, I think. He's debating on going for the jump. Right on the edge, and Cap unfortunately hits reverse on the motors. His guy kind of tosses his hand up like, what are you doing, bro? I was going for it. And now he's going to kick the stern around. But there's nobody on the stern to get off of the line. So I'm just guessing Cap's going to wind up on the miss on this one. So I hate to always say this one, but this is where you can tell when things are going to go wrong. When we see a twin-engine boat down here, and I see a lot of turning of the motors, you kind of know things aren't going to go as to plan. When I see guys come down here who are truly like great at docking, they don't touch those motors on twin-engine boats. They stay basically in that dead center line, and they do nothing but use the two throttles to get everything lined up and pulled over, and there's very little, if any, turning most of the time down here. Because even still, they'll line their line up without really turning the motor too much. Typically, they'll just use the throttles to go ahead and turn the boat toward the dock, and then throw both into forward gear once they're ready. So Cap's missed, trying to get it back around. And his buddy's still in the bow, waiting to go for the jump off. And again, motors full lock turned on this. So Cap, for a minute it looked like Cap wanted to leave the helm, but he's in no kind of spot anywhere near being able to do that. And his buddy, there we go, goes for the light leap. So he's got one line on the dock, but they didn't set up a stern line before he left either. Now Cap, in theory here, could take this from the central position, use that starboard engine, just tap it into reverse once, and it should start to bring that stern around. But no, he's going to leave the helm, and we're going to go for a different play. As we just sit off the dock with no real movement. And there we go. Finally, he moves more toward the mid on the boat, and he'll wind up getting this one pulled over. So after all that on the docking, this is how they left it tied up. The boat's just kind of drifting off the dock, and now basically they're going to block both lanes down here at the ramp, as they're just going to leave this boat hanging 15 foot off the dock in the middle of both lanes. It's not uncommon, I guess, down here. You know, ramp courtesy is definitely not the name of the game, it feels like. But thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Miami Boat Ramps. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, do some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we got Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature down at Haulover Inlet. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.